Good day, everyone. Today we will talk about how to give science lessons a real world boost. According to Judy Deinhammer, if you were to peek into a science classroom today, do you think it would look the same as when you were a student? When she was in junior high school, it was notes, lab, test, repeat. Today, many science classrooms are interactive, exploratory, and creative. Kids are developing experimental plans, drawing conclusions based on evidence, and creating products to share their knowledge with the world. Some of those old science labs and activities idea were good, but maybe too prescriptive. As students, we all did the same thing and had the same end product, similar to following a recipe to bake a cake. How can educators and future educators take these original ideas and update them to meet the needs of our students today so that they are motivated and engaged in our classrooms? Here are 4 examples of updated science lessons that hold students' interest. First, design a lab around a guiding question. Original lab: soak a dry chicken bone in vinegar overnight and see how the density changes. The updated version: develop an experiment that explores an environmental impact on bone density over time. To implement this idea in your classroom, start with the guiding question. For example, how do everyday choices alter bone density? Give students a good database to use and let them quickly research this question. Have each group share out what they found and generate a list of questions they still have. The goal is for them to have more questions than answer at this point. Challenge each group to develop their own more specific guiding question that they will use to launch an investigation. To help students develop a procedure for testing their guiding question, we should incorporate time for them to present their procedures to the class to gain feedback. Next, students run their experiments and collect data. They create charts and graphs and analyze the result. Once the lab is complete, they develop conclusions based on evidence and prepare to share their findings with others. We should challenge students to create a product that shares this information in a way that encourages others to keep bones strong and healthy. A suggestion for creating an infographics using Canva or Keynote: recording short video public service announcement using clips or Quick, or creating breaking news articles using Creative Cloud Express or Pages. The next one is annotated dissection. Original lab: dissect the specimen and label the diagrams in the packet. The updated version: create an annotated image of your specimen to identify at least 5 structures. Instead of labeling a stock photo of heart with arrows pointing at specific structures, have students take a picture of the specimen on their table and label at least 5 things they can clearly identify, and tell students to be prepared to explain how they know what they are pointing at. The third one is sketch note writing summaries. Original lab: read the article and write a summary of what you learned. The updated version: read the article and create a sketch note that shows how the information you are reading relates to your life and what we have learned previously. As students work through the scientific paper, they take notes on things they think are most important, and then create small sketches or drawings that help them solidify the concept. It shows the variety of work that is submitted and how students are able to make deeper connection to the content they are reading. They start to show how information pertains to them as an individual. The last one is seed studies adapt a plant. Original lab: look at seeds and determine their method of dispersal. The updated version: plant seeds and measure plant growth over time. Set up an Adapt a Plant program at school. Students will motivate if they are part of the process of the experiment. For example, in the 7th grade science, students should select a seed to plant and study that seed and determine its method of dispersal and research its need to germinate. Students then planted the seeds and cared for the plants for about 2 weeks. Students created a guide for their plants to share with the teacher. This guide gave the teacher all the information they needed, such as sunlight and water requirements, as well as other information the students thought the teachers might find interesting. When students are developing labs, creating their own images, teaching others, and applying what they have learned to their own life, they more engage in the content. For the future educators there, we should always look for a way to challenge our students to dig a little deeper and make more meaningful connection to our curriculum. And that is all for today. The 4 example of updated science lesson that hold students' interest. Thank you for watching.